State of Viewership is a report that Samba TV puts out every quarter, where we take a look at all of the releases, all of the TV and streaming activity that we've been able to capture over the previous quarter, and we like to pull out highlights. And just a little on Samba TV data collection. We're an independent first-party data provider. We collect data from over 40 million TV devices. And in Q4, we analyzed 24 billion hours of linear and streaming TV data. One of the biggest findings that we found in Q4 was about advertising and advertising efficiency. What we're seeing is a growing oversaturation of advertising against a shrinking linear audience. To put some numbers behind this, 97% of ad dollars were spent on linear TV in Q4, but only reached 55% of TV viewers. Think about this for just a moment. Only half of the TV viewing audience was reached by nearly all, 97% of the dollars. And these audiences were less diverse than the national average. They were older, they were lower income, and we've been reaching them with such a high frequency that it's approaching oversaturation.
Tell us about these problems we're seeing with frequency and how advertisers can correct that.
From my perspective, it's clear that advertisers are having a problem seeing this in their measurement. It feels like a measurement problem. They're sending the same message over and over again to the same viewers. And I can't believe this was the intent of the campaign at the beginning of the quarter. But year over year, we saw linear ad impressions were up by 19%, but the unique reached audiences were only up by 6%. This is a problem with optimization, and it creates a struggle in order to be able to manage that frequency correctly. There's ways that we can change this. We need to embrace new measures for reach and frequency, and we need to be able to better articulate this in the measurement that we're receiving. As the linear audience continues to shrink and move it more into streaming and CTV spaces, the frequency problem is going to continue to grow.
What are some other shifts that you're seeing, Cole, you'd like to share with us in terms of measurement? There's quite a lot going on in the industry around the currency, around performance. What's going on? What are some of your takeaways?
Yeah, the currency conversation is a fun one. It's something that we're a part of nearly every day here at Samba TV, either externally or internally, just trying to figure out what it feels like the industry is looking for and where things are moving. What we are seeing most commonly is a shift away from old metrics, from GRPs and TRPs, into something that's more actionable and measurable for an advertiser. Reach and frequency at the household level, being able to transition more into outcomes and move away from metrics that obfuscate optimization levers, such as actual reach and actual frequency. I think one of the biggest things that we saw, and just to articulate this a little bit more, is that when we look at this very important period between Black Friday and Christmas, what we saw a lot of major advertisers were spending heavily during this period. And our analysis of Walmart, Target, Kohl's, and Macy's, each of those advertisers served over 1.5 billion impressions during that important month of time. Kohl's was the advertiser that did the best job during this period. They cast a wide net, they reached a lot of households, and their average frequency during this period floated around 22, so roughly one a day. Some of these other companies, though, they didn't do as good a job of spreading this out, and they were seeing frequencies well into the 30s and 40s, reaching very much a high risk of oversaturation against their target audience.
So based on what you saw in the report, how should advertisers be approaching targeting and measurement to optimize their spend and improve their ROI?
Absolutely. This is a great question because from my perspective, this is absolutely a measurement problem. I think that it is, with looking at historic metrics, it is hard to see this reach and frequency problem, especially if you're still looking at GRPs and TRPs as the primary KPI for TV measurement. GRPs have a tendency to obfuscate the problem. They commingle reach and frequency, so it's hard to be able to see the truth of what it was that you were actually delivering. Taking a step away from the GRP, moving into reach and frequency metrics is the number one thing that advertisers can do to help get control over this problem. Moving into these more modern KPIs, as well as partnering this with independent measurement and analysis, That feels like the number one thing advertisers can do to start to solve this problem this quarter.